Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth or development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind in the sun and rise.
Check it, listen, coming through, fire bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimals, mathematical root radicals. So receive this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
Just levitate, levitate, keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Shed these lies.
We be blazing, we be blazing, we be fire, your blaze. We be blazing, we be blazing, we be fire, blaze. It's the fire of truth anthem as we blaze through. Lies, tricks, and deceptions we melt through. High vibes, lumen consciousness we shine too. Sharp focus, cut distractions we move true. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding we love to. Embrace your soul's purpose as it flows through. Growth and development we on the rise too. Show your value and your worth full of gratitude. Enjoy the present moment, feel the magnitude. Energetic upliftment, high altitude. Dynamic life balance, you know we flowing true. Your vision and your mission you must honor too. Your mind rules your world, you must attract to. Your thoughts set conditions you must filter through. Fundamental elements we must build to. Moving in action, be dynamic, that's what matters too. It is what it is, that concludes the tune. We be blazing, we be fire, we be blazing, we be fire, blazing, blazing.
Alright, my brothers and sisters, divine evening once again. We are back projecting in with another powerful broadcast that we're going to be uplifting within the message today. Today we're going to be moving in the operations of the Alchemy Project because it's about mental alchemy. So the main teaching and lesson that we're going to be talking about for today is the 5 attribute factors essential and that is foundational for emotional intelligence. So I warmly invite you to listen keenly and listen razor sharply because you're about to get that true knowledge, that true wisdom, that true inner standing, understanding, equal standing, overstanding, and outer standing once again, because as always and as usual, you know the ritual. We're about to hit that juggernaut monstrosity, colossal grand slammer home run, bringing all this knowledge and wisdom all the way. And that is the fire of truth. So my brothers and sisters, let's get right to the matter at hand, and we're going to be going right into the teaching and lesson for day as it pertains to emotional intelligence. Because it seems like a lot of people do not truly understand what emotional intelligence is, and we're excuse me, and we're going to be breaking it down. So let me pull up the short presentation that we're going to be going over here. Let's check this out for a moment here. Let's pull this up. Okay. So as mentioned, we're going to be talking about the 5 attribute factors that are foundational to emotional intelligence. So let us get right to the matter at hand and let's go. The first one, when it comes to the attributes of emotional intelligence, is that you have to be able to show honor and respect to others. If you cannot show honor and respect to others, you already are at failing at establishing emotional intelligence and emotional reciprocity and connection. You're failing already. Because an emotionally intelligent person does not need to belittle anybody. The most emotionally intelligent person should be doing is provide constructive criticism at the right time, place, and season. When you are providing emotional support to somebody, you should not rush to immediate solutions. You first have to establish honor and respect to others. I'm going to let that sit with you for a bit. Honor and respect is an important attribute for emotional intelligence, because you cannot be a support system to anybody if you cannot show honor and respect. The next one is self-discipline. Self-discipline, static and kinetic mastery over your personal feelings and emotions. So if you are a leader or an enlightener, a guider of people and individuals, you're providing emotional support for people who have trauma or have instability with their emotions. You first have to master your own feelings and emotions before you could be any level of support. You have to master your static emotions and your kinetic emotions. What do I mean about static and kinetic emotions? When I'm talking about static emotions, I'm talking about the emotions that are vibrating within you, within your own mind, that are not openly seen to the public. So if you are unable to sit comfortably with yourself without feeling uncomfortable and needing to be around others, there's a problem already. If you cannot sit still with your own feelings and emotions and confront yourself, your light and your shadow side, and make them work together in integration and synthesis, there's a problem. You cannot be emotional support, and you will not be able to have proper emotional intelligence for anybody. You have to have self-mastery over yourself, especially when it comes to emotions, because we're talking about emotional intelligence. You have to have you have to bring yourself within unity consciousness. And unity consciousness is achieved through combining your light side and your shadow side together in synthesis, in integration. If you haven't done that, how can you be emotional support? Or how can you achieve emotional intelligence? That's the question. So in order to embody emotional intelligence, you have to master your own feelings and emotions. You have to have self-control, self-discipline. You have to control when you speak and when not to speak. You have to know when to speak and when not to speak. And this is the perfect part to move on to number 3 as it pertains to the 5 parts and 5 attributes of emotional intelligence. Number 3, the ability to listen well. The ability to listen well. So when it comes to listening, this is part of the foundation of emotional intelligence. You have to know when to keep your mouth closed and when to speak. But primarily, you should be keeping your mouth closed until you're asked to say something through body language or actual words. So as a person with emotional intelligence, you should be predominantly listening. And listening is a skillful art that must be mastered. And most people lack the ability to listen, because most people who can't listen, they always want to talk about themselves or talk about their circumstances and their problems. That's not emotional intelligence. You need to discipline yourself. You need to wait patiently, and you need to sit still before you say anything to anybody. Sit still. Master stillness. Master self-reflection. You need to take the time to review your own mind and to master your own mind, your emotions and your feelings. So listening, when you break down the term to listen, means to enter a list. List enter. So before you speak, you should be listening. Especially when you're dealing with women. Just listen. Sit there, listen. And do your best to understand them well, what they're saying to you. You're there to be the rock. You're there to be the stabilization. You're there to be the foundation for them. And you can't do that if you're constantly rushing to conclusions. You got to sit there and listen well. Allow them to vent. That's what an emotionally intelligent person, that's how they operate. That's how they function. If you want to be a leader, if you want to be the one who's the enlightened guide for somebody, you have to be the foundation. You got to be the stability. You got to be the pillars of support. And a major part of that is listening. And it's not just listening, listen well. Listen to respond rather than to react. Reacting is an emotional response. It's an instability, it's an unstable response when you react. You're just reflecting the same energy that you're receiving. That's an undisciplined person, an individual. A disciplined one remains cool, calm, and collected. They have self-awareness. They have perceptual awareness. And they're always are open to expand their consciousness. And it's all done through self-discipline, self-reflection, being silent and quiet, because when you look at listen, it's also an anagram to be silent. This is part of the self-mastery process. You have to show honor and respect to others. Respect, Ra, when you break it down, Ra is referring to shining the light upon something. The spect is the spectacle. So it's the specific emphasis that you're putting the light upon. So you're shining a light upon someone as a highlight for the purposes of honor. And how do you honor somebody? You take the time to listen to them well before you respond. When we break down respond, rest and ponder. Ponder is to think intelligently. You listen first, then you think intelligently to guide somebody as accurately as you can, and you give them information which is going to transform them within them. It's going to shape and form them and guide them to some steps that could help alchemize their condition to an improved state, improved mental state. You have to keep that in mind. So let us move on to the fourth attribute of emotional intelligence. As an emotionally intelligent person, you have to have the ability to sympathize with people. Sympathize and empathize if you can. You should be doing your best to imagine and embrace what it feels like to be in their shoes, their situation, their circumstance. their scenario. So you can understand, stand where they're coming from. The more you're able to sympathize and especially empathize, which is a higher level of understanding and experiencing a similar situation that they went through, you're able to provide a better solution if you are able to overcome it yourself. So sympathizing and empathizing, you're able to put yourself in their perspective, their perceptual awareness, their circumstance, and you're able to offer a guiding solution toward rising out of that situation, that circumstance, that scenario that they're in. And that takes experience, that takes knowledge, that takes wisdom, that takes information, that takes intelligence. So you have to keep that in mind. And if you're the leaders that you view, the so-called knowledge teachers that you watch, if they're not demonstrating these attributes on a consistent basis, they're not leaders. They're just playing, they're just role-playing for the camera. If they're quick to get angry, they're quick to cuss out, they're quick to do all of that stuff, do not see them as a leader. They're a waste of time. Do not even watch them. Do not even follow them. They have to embody. They have to show honor and respect to others, first and foremost. They have to have self-discipline, statically and kinetically in motion. Mastery over themselves to a high-level degree. No one is absolutely perfect. But the reality is, if you claim to be a grand master or a divine teacher or any of that kind of stuff, the number one thing that we should be seeing in those people is discipline. We should be seeing them show honor and respect. We should be seeing them master their own feelings and emotions in live action. So they're going to be slow to get angry and upset. If they get upset, they got set up. And that's when they get exposed. So you got to be careful. Control your emotions. Even if someone is being irritating to you, let them know in a cool, calm, collected way. At the same time, there is a time, place, and season to turn up, but do it in a respectful way to turn up. You could do it passionately and adamantly, but do it in an honorable and respectful way. Not in a distasteful way of cussing someone out. That does no good. Do it in a powerful, passionate, but assertive and respectful and honorable way. You could sound strong and powerful the way you want, but you could do it in a respectful way. Without belittling someone, without doing all of that extra stuff of cussing and cursing and doing all that stuff that a lot of these leaders do. So-called leaders. I don't call them leaders. I call them pretenders and fronters. Because we see what happened to them. Look how they acted. They weren't authentic from the start. They're not honorable. They're not really respectful. They don't have true self-discipline. They can't control their own feelings and emotions. We see how they act. They have no high level of self-mastery. They're cussing and cursing, belittling people. Although some people do deserve it, but at the same time, you gotta pick right when you're moving that way. You gotta move it in an honorable way, in a respectful way, and you could sound powerful. You could sound strong without sounding gutta and sounding low down in an excessive way that a lot of these so-called leaders that were popular up in the streams of the social media platforms. The reason why they fell is because they have no self-mastery. This is why I'm always going to be standing, because I embody all of these things at a high level. Easily, with flying colors. I could say that I'm emotionally intelligent. I'm a very laid-back, cool, calm, and collected person, but at the same time, I'm a very passionate person when we get to something of depth and value. I'm a master listener. I have self-discipline, static and kinetic, self-mastery over myself. I show an honor and respect to others. I listen well. I have the ability to sympathize and empathize. These are the things that is required. I obviously have the intelligence required to provide guidance and solutions. Most of these leaders don't have it. This is not to big up myself or anything. This is just telling you the facts. I've been on social media since 2013. I've had channels removed and all of that via YouTube but anyways. The main point here is that this applies to everybody in general. Everybody in general should embody these attributes. Life is about self-mastery. It's all about honor and respect. Be slow to anger. Control your emotions. Regulate your emotions. Master your light and shadow self. You have to be observant. You have to sit still. You have to listen. Listening is the foundational part. The key factor for someone to feel comfortable is they got to see that you have the ability to be disciplined, and you have to listen well and know how to respond to them and provide constructive criticism when it's time to. Sometimes you cannot provide constructive criticism right away. Sometimes people just want to vent. So you just sit and listen. And you have to have the discernment. You have to have the perceptual awareness to know when to speak and to know when to shut your mouth and just let it be. Especially with women. Especially with women. But ultimately, if they keep repeating the same cycles of the same circumstances and scenarios over and over again, eventually you have to become more assertive and just lay down the guidance and foundation of guidance and solution. You can't just sit there and be a doormat. There's got to be a time, place, and season where you got to put your foot down and start laying down the guidance and solutions. Sometimes women just want to be heard. So as a man, men are supposed to be primarily leaders most majority of the time. Sometimes a woman is going to be a leader depending on what we're talking about. But most of the time, men are the leaders. At least they're supposed to be the leaders. So as a man, you got to be stable. You got to have a strong foundation. You got to have the ability to listen well. You got to remain cool, calm, and collected. You got to have self-discipline. Mastery over your own feelings and emotions. It's better not to go back and forth with women when it comes to fighting. Sometimes it is, depending on depending on the seriousness of what it may be. But you do it in a way that is honorable and respectful, and that is assertive. It's not about being gentle all the time. It's about being assertive. Sometimes you have to exercise tough love with the women. It's not always about being gentle. You have to exercise tough love. And tough love doesn't mean you go to the extremes and you start cursing and calling them B's and F's and all of that. It doesn't mean you do that. That just shows you're not qualified to be a leader when you start getting at that level and cursing like that. If you cannot control your composure, you're showing that you're not emotionally intelligent. That's the reality. There's nothing wrong with turning up. If you're going to turn up, do it in an honorable and respectful way, in an assertive way, in a more proactive, balancing manner. Because being gentle is not always going to work. There's a time and place for that. But sometimes in order to snap someone out of their condition, you got to raise up and be more assertive, but respectful and honorable at the same time. Powerful, however, respectful and honorable, because that's what an emotionally intelligent person does. You have to master your own feelings statically and kinetically. You have to integrate your light and your shadow side. You have to master your lower nature. The lower nature, the debilitations and weaknesses, are the 7 deadly sins. Most of those so-called leaders obviously fell to the 7 deadly sins. Obviously they have. That's where they fell and failed, because they haven't mastered that. And that has a lot to do with discipline. You have to control your emotions. You got to control your greed, gluttony, your lust, your pride, all of that. Life is about self-mastery. It's about mastering the 7 deadly sins within you and operating in truth, justice, balance, order, harmony, reciprocity, and propriety. Those are the attributes essential to overcoming the 7 deadly sins of sloth, lust, greed, gluttony, wrath, envy, pride. That sums it up. No one is absolutely perfect and has mastered everything 100% and not absolutely perfect. But ultimately, you should be at the standard of how to operate. You should be at a high level standard when it comes to the operations and attributes of emotional intelligence as a man, as a so-called leader that you're supposed to be. You have to embody these things well. And the 5th one is the ability to provide effective guidance and solutions. So, show honor and respect to others is the first one. Self-discipline, statically and kinetic mastery over yourself and personal feelings. Your personal feelings and emotions. Your emotions are energy in motion. So you have to be able to control your energy well. The ability to listen well. Listening is about remaining cool, calm, and collected, and to entering a list of what's being said to you, so you could fully understand how to guide somebody and how to bring forth the solutions. And to amplify your ability to listen, you should visualize, use your imagination, or you could use your direct experience to sympathize and empathize with that person's circumstance and condition while you're listening to them. And this will amplify the knowledge, intelligence, information that you're providing to the person that you're dealing with as a emotional support system, or as a guider or a teacher. And when you embody these elements, this will give you the highest level ability to provide effective guidance and solutions required for them to rise above their circumstance, scenario, condition, their traumas, and their emotional instabilities. So my brothers and sisters, this pretty much concludes today's lab blaze. Got to keep these, I'm doing my best to keep them within a half an hour and not overdo it. So you got these 5 attributes, and this is what you need to embody on a consistent basis. You got to master yourself on a consistent basis. And the way you master these attributes is you have to learn how to be alone. When you're alone, it means to be all one. Alone is all one. What does all one mean? It means you have to master unity consciousness. You have to master your masculine side and your feminine side, your left and right brain. You got to master your emotions and your feelings. You got to be able to face yourself in the mirror. Life is a mirror. Life is a reflection. Which you project reflects back at you. You got to be able to sit comfortably with yourself and face and feel the energy in motion coming into you and out of you, and figure out how to regulate and control these energies in a cool, calm, and collected way, because life is about self-mastery. And the master key to controlling your emotions is breath work. Once you master your deep breathing, it's easy to control your emotions. Close your mouth, keep it closed. Do not react. Reaction is reflecting the energy back at the person that is sending it to you. You got to learn how to alchemize these energies in a constructive interference way rather than a destructive interference way that most people do, especially on social media. They're quick to react and they're quick to attack back. If you are truly honorable and righteous as you claim you are, there would be no reason for you to get upset. If you get upset, it just shows that what that person has been saying against you is right. If it wasn't right, there's no reason for you to get upset. You could calmly deal with the matter in an honorable and respectful way and in a graceful way. You could stand strong and stand powerful without going low down and gutter, cussing someone out. If you feel the need to curse and cuss someone out, that just says everything that person has been saying, there's a lot of truth what that person has been saying because they turned you up. They controlled your emotions and made you turn up. The fact that they did that shows that what they're saying scorched you behind. If what they're saying wasn't true, what's the reason to get upset and angry? And even if what they were saying was true, as a so-called leader, remain calm, remain cool, remain authentic. If the leader was being authentic and genuine, they would have no problem to explain themselves in a cool, calm, and collected way. If they want to be passionate in an honorable and respectful way, despite what that disrespect you be receiving. You have to set the standard. Don't go overboard with the cussing, cursing, and all of that. That just shows that there's validity to what that person has said about you. If you have to resort to that level, if you need to resort to that level, it just shows that some of what they're saying is valid. And the fact that you went off and now you're acting crazy, it shows you're not qualified to be a leader and guider. But anyways, let me put this to a conclusion. That is a fire of truth and nothing but the whole, living, unified truth. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, stay sitting at your seats for more fire, blaze, truth coming. We're going to be rocking with the information. And we're going to continue to uplift the masses with right knowledge and right wisdom. You know what time it is? Sun raising your consciousness with confidence. Sacred culture. Where's that? Sacred culture, brothers and sisters. La blaze. Enlighten your world. So we're going to close off this broadcast with some more music that you need to embody and embrace. Because the message is in the music as well. The message is in the music. So let's pull this up. Listen well to the lyrics, because a lot of people need to embody these lyrics. Just one moment, just pulling it up here. What's going on with the delay?
Elevate your mind. Elevate your mind. Elevate your mind. Elevate your mind, and life gets so much better, better, better. Life's a journey. Stay focused on your purpose, mission and vision. Just listen and embrace the moment, the now. Navigate operational wisdom. The mind mirror reception, the great imagination. Amazon action, suns we flashing, radiant razors we passing, walking through the patterns of the movement of life. Darkness leads to the path unknown. Shine your light, find your flow, let your mode be your mode. Spark your soul, let it unfold. Shape and form, you gotta take control. Elevate your mind and life gets so much better, better, better. Life's a journey, stay focused on your purpose, mission and vision. Just listen and embrace the moment, the now. Navigate operational wisdom, the mind mirror reception, the great imagination. Life is seasonal, four foundations, different roles and operations. Life has meaning, life has purpose. Wise as serpents, what determines measure importance. Natural accordance, the forces and forests. Songs of the ocean, life in its melody, life in its parody. Spices the clarity, lick jaw mentality, duality, polarity. Life's a reflection, create your projection. Manifest dimension, it's your world. Elevate your mind and life gets so much better, better, better. Life's a journey, stay focused on your purpose, mission and vision. Just listen and embrace the moment, the now. Navigate operational wisdom, the mind mirror reception, the great imagination. Yeah, that's the drain of energy, that's the loss of synergy. Focus is the currency, knowledge comprehensively, natural immunity, electrical activity, divine mental ability, vibratory utility. Distractions break you in fractions. You know it's time to take action. Herbal satisfaction, you feel the energy and passion, the magnitude fashion. Elevate your mind and life gets so much better, better, better. Life's a journey, stay focused on your purpose, mission and vision. Just listen and embrace the moment, the now. Navigate operational wisdom, the mind mirror reception, the great imagination. Violin, melody, microphone, symmetry, lyrical symphony, sacred geometry, natural velocity, hydro viscosity, omnidexterity, embrace singularity, far from regularity, flow circularity, full of vitality, uplift humanity, growth and development, natural element, triumphant like an elephant, natural intelligence, excellence is evident, rise to be better than rhyming in eloquence, shining in elegance, powerful resonance, poetical specialist, consistent mixed regimen, always remain relevant. Times to be delicate, times to have an estimate, times to be definite, let go of the prejudice, time to be accurate, in tune with the requisite thoughts, reach settlement, connect to the essence, 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 essence. Elevate your mind and life gets so much better, better, better. Life's a journey, stay focused on your purpose, mission and vision. Just listen and embrace the moment, the now. Navigate operational wisdom, the mind mirror reception, the great imagination. The great imagination. The great imagination. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. We be blazing. We be blazing. We be fire, 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 fire. Blazing, blazing. We be blazing. We be fire, fire, fire. It's the fire of truth anthem as we blaze through. Lies, tricks, and deceptions we melt through. High vibes, human consciousness we shine too. Sharp focus, cut distractions, we move true. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding we love too. Embrace your soul's purpose as it flows through. Growth and development, we on the rise too. Show your value and your worth, full of gratitude. Enjoy the present moment, feel the magnitude. Energetic upliftment, high altitude, dynamic life balance. You know we flowing true. Your vision and your mission, you must honor too. Your mind rules your world, you must attract to. Your thoughts set conditions, you must filter through fundamental elements. We must build too. Moving in action, being dynamic, that's what matters too. It is what it is that concludes the tune. We be blazing. We be blazing. We be fire, 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 blazing.
right, my brothers and sisters, Solar family, enjoy the rest of your evening. We're done. Enjoy. Stay tuned for more Fire of Truth coming on the Supreme Natural Intelligence Sacred Culture channel. We're going to be rocking and uplifting Temple Code 101, finishing off that series with the lab blazes. So we're going to be going there, as well as other surprise broadcasts that we're going to be going into. So we're going to be continuing to talk about this topic in the future. I just wanted to get it started for now and start mentioning it, because a lot of people do not know. They really got to know what they're talking about when it comes to this topic. So I had to come here and do a brief lesson today and get it over with. So anyways, enjoy your night. Peace. Light it up.
Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth or development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind in the sun and rise. Yeah. Check it, listen,
Coming through.
fire bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimal of mathematical root radicals. So see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
We just levitate, levitate. Keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Shift these lies.
Balance is key, foundation you see, harmony we seek, nature we free, spirit we agree, preach and teach, the flock we reach, peace we feast, Ecclesiastics 3, Barak Shalom hour, inner peace power, reason in season, there's meaning in beacon and wisdom we season, peace to the most high, the most high, 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 peace to the most high, the most high.